I've said it before, but Jiggle Physics Arise needs to stop. She's just sitting there breathing. Nobody breathes like this. Nobody. Did she just get done running a mile? Like, nobody breathes like this. Anyway, we're talking about Isla Wright and how good this character is, what you guys should be using on her, what skills are best for her, and whether or not you guys should be pulling. I know it's been a couple of days and you guys have already made your decisions, but I wanted to still cover it anyway for the people that happen to, you know, potentially not have done so. But post down below what you guys did and what your opinions are for the character. Another original character, but fear not, because the next banner is Thomas. So that is going to be super hype, and you know he is going to be broken as hell, because the dudes come out one every freaking 3 months in this game, and they've got to make sure that they are broken to hold people over, because you better believe there's going to be 6 more waifus before we get another guy. All right. That being said, I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you happen to be new. And happy, 6-month anniversary now, right? It's a half anniversary right now for the game. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So anyway, before we proceed, I wanted to just let you guys know that if you haven't already, now is the perfect time to support me. The reason why is because as you guys support, you can get access to a ton of different stuff like Essence Stones here. I've got more Essence Stones there. This is kind of what it looks like when they give out all the rewards. So if you're looking for these things and you haven't supported anybody else, make sure you support me through the link down below in the description. Isla, I just told you Thomas is coming out. So that answers the question of whether or not you should be pulling like on a surface level. But if you want to talk more about what she does, she is the third. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I got to say it's kind of weird. So the dark team is just these 2 girls. And if you don't, by the way, they added them to the custom draw. I got 2 more copies of Charlotte, which is awesome. I do not regret that at all. But if you don't have at least 1 dupe in Charlotte, if you don't have any dupes in Harper, you can make it work. But Harper gets really, really good as a buffer. Well, every character gets much better. But Harper is really fun as a buffer as she gets more bonuses. But regardless, she can still break for you and stuff like that. And then her ultimate and her weapon and all that stuff is still really useful too. Anyway, so the dark team's kind of those 2, but they keep buffing Silvermane. So there's that. You got another buff, I believe I saw. They also, I believe, buffed Lim. Lee Bora's kind of going around. I don't know that they buffed her recently. Freaking Arise, man. So the dark team's kind of funny. But then the point is that typically you're using the main 2 girls with men. That's kind of what a lot of people are doing. So that's where things are a little weird with her. I don't know if she's necessary in particular, but I do know that she's going to spike the damage of this team tremendously. And her support skill is crazy, in my opinion. So we're going to start off by taking a look at her support skill for Janu. She does, she scales off of defense, deals damage, but who cares about that? Does airborne. When the user uses this skill, it removes all debuff zones within the area of the skill. Yeah, that's broken. That's super broken. Super broken skill. It's not a cleanse. It's not a cleanse. What it is it removes like the poisons on the floor, if I'm understanding it properly. That is super broken. Put some damn shoes on, girl. My goodness, who walks around like this? Anyway, when the user uses the skill, it activates the star effect, which we'll read in a second. And when the user uses the skill, it applies either the strength, the magician, or the Wheel of Fortune effect to the entire team. Yeah, so this is going to be fun. So the star instantly restores HP equal to 8.21% of Isla Wright's defense to the entire team, removes debuffs from the entire team. So there is a cleanse right there. That's why I made that distinction. So she's going to cleanse the area and then cleanse the character and heal Janu as well. Very nice. But this is where she gets kind of crazy. So strength increases the user's damage by 12% for 12 seconds. The magician grants a shield equal to 12% of Isla Wright's defense to the entire team. The team stuff on here doesn't matter unless you're in team fight mode, I guess, right? This doesn't trigger regardless. It's just going to be on Janu, right? Because this isn't triggering and she can't use these skills in team fight. Anyway, unless I'm misinterpreting that. But Wheel of Fortune increases the entire team's critical hit rate and damage by 12%. Wow. Wow, boy. So that Janu getting that, so like you're gonna get one of these 3. Janu getting the chance, and most of the time I'm getting Wheel of Fortune. It seems like it may be skewed towards that. I get it quite often. But Janu getting that crit hit rate and damage is crazy, especially when you combine it with the new skill that he has where he can make the opponent take more critical hit damage, and it's pretty insane. So let's take a look at her skills here. So her core attack has bonuses on it, those same ones. So when the user uses this skill, it grants either strength, the magician, or wheel of fortune to the entire team. So this one, unlike the other one and other buffs we'll see, can actually just trigger normally for her team. That other one was Janu specific because it was a support bonus. But those same effects are here as well. So this is where she's kind of fun because you'll see also how her core attack triggers other things. Her basics and stuff trigger other things. Here's her first skill. It just forcefully activates the star while also doing the debuff thing. Her support skill is basically this in conjunction with the core attack together. Here's her other skill here. Knocks down the targets and activates the tower effect, which increases dark damage of dark team members by 5% for 10 seconds. So this one obviously is one of those just buffing moves you're going to use on the team, but nothing crazy there. And here's her QTE. This is when she's going to QTE in. Then she could trigger one of those effects as well here. Yeah, that's kind of nuts. So she's got repeated procs of this in multiple places. So I guess it's fair to say it's a combination of that and the skill one as opposed to the core attack, but it's the same effect, right? The ultimate. So the ultimate, it does an airborne. Then when the user uses Arcane of the World, it activates the world. It activates the world effect. When the user uses Arcane of Death, it activates the death effect. Ooh. Instantly restores HP with the world equal to 15% of Isla Wright's defense to the entire team. Grants a shield equal to 15% of her defense to the entire team. The death one increases damage increase stat of the entire team equal to 6% of Isla Wright's damage increase stat. Oh, I was like, what are they talking about? But I didn't realize that was how that worked. So it's similar to Yusu Hyun, where she wants the defense penetration. This is calling out the damage increase stat. Oh, this could be kind of nutty. If there are dark element hunters on your team, it increases their ultimate skill damage as well by 12%. Oh, dude, triggering the death is crazy. Triggering the death is crazy. How do you change this to Arcane of Death? That's gonna be with one of these, isn't it? It's gonna be in one of the dupes. It's in here somewhere. Look at that Death Shepherd effect. Okay. When the user uses the stage 3 of their basic attack, it charges their power gauge by 100%. So she has the same effect, just like Charlotte, where she uses the basic, she gets the ultimate for free. When the user uses Death Nova, their Arcane, the world skill becomes Arcane Death. So Death Nova is going to be the skill right here. So, okay, that's what it is. I was like, where is it at? So triggering the tower, then procking, she's got crazy stuff going on. So she can trigger, so she's going to activate this, get her ultimate off. She's going to do this, the tower, increasing dark damage, and then using this, which will trigger the death skill. If you pop a core attack in there, you may also get Wheel of Fortune. Or you can use the other skill just to get Wheel of Fortune too, I guess, right? No, okay, so the loop with her is you QTE in first. You QTE in first, and then get her basic for the ultimate, and then go straight into the tower, and then you're good to go. You don't have to QTE. You could go for the core attack as well. You could do that. But anyway, yeah, so using that, it changes the skill. When the user uses Cosmic Emergence, the Arcane the Death skill becomes the world. So the other skill will change it back to the world. When the user uses Death Nova, it charges the power gauge of the second character on the team by 60%. And decreases the cooldown of their ultimate by 20. So, in my opinion, I think that should be Harper. You want to get Harper's ultimate off ASAP, so you can get the extra bonuses from that. Because obviously you don't need... in fact, you can't do that with Charlotte. So, you just need that with Harper. And that's going to pop off pretty well. But this is still really strong. This is still really strong because it's going to do that for any character. It's not calling out specifically dark characters. It's just when she uses Death Nova, it powers up the power gauge of the next character. So that's really, really, really strong. It also enhances the tower, which increases dark damage of dark team members by 10% for 16 seconds now. So yeah, you can do that. Oh, and then you go straight into the tower too after that. Oh, that's nasty. I know the tower's already activated with this. That's nasty. But yeah, that first dupe is really strong. I think she would work without the first dupe, but I think you really want that first one because it's the automatic ultimate. Like, you want that one really bad. Really bad. It's basically what Amamiya does for herself, right? With her weapon, right? It's basically what Amamiya does for herself, but for the next character. That's super broken because there's no restriction on it. Increases the team's speed by 10% and the entire team becomes immune to slow. Increases the team's defense by 5%. This is a nasty, nasty dupe. So the second one is also insane. When the user uses horoscope, crossing stars, it activates strength, the magician, and wheel of fortune. So she automatically, by using the horoscope with that third dupe, by using the core attack, she forcefully activates strength and the magician and wheel of fortune with that third dupe. She gets all three. So yeah, the loop does change. You definitely, well, you could do either. Well, you definitely can use that core attack. Wow. Horoscope crossing scars. Wait a minute. Is that the ultimate? Is that the ultimate? No, where the hell? Is it horoscope or crossing stars? I think that's what it means. It just says horoscope crossing stars. I assume that it means horoscope and / or, right? But yeah, so basically with that third dupe with Jinu, it takes away the RNG element. So you're gonna get all three instead of just one random one. That third dupe is nuts. It's gonna be on the core attack and the support skill for Jinu. Yeah, that third dupe is nasty. That third dupe is nasty. The second one's really good too, but you get that in the process. Dark team members' dark damage increases by 3%, and their damage taken decreases by 3%, stacking up 3 times for every dark element hunter on the team. Also nasty. Also nasty. This new wave of characters and changes that they've been doing lately is kind of interesting. It's like power creep on previous power creep. It's kind of crazy. The world and death effects are enhanced. So the world HP equal to 25%. Is instantly restored to the entire team, grants a shield equal to 25% of her defense, and then death increases the team's damage increase equal to 12%. Wasn't it 6 of Isla Wright's damage stat increase effect? If there's a dark element hunter, their ultimate damage is increased by 32%, and the death shepherd effect is granted the entire team. Now it adds in another effect too. Increases damage by 0.2% for every 1% reduction to the target's HP, stacking up to 16 times. Duration 60. Oh. Oh. Wait a minute. What's the math on this? What's the math on that? Is that like a quick math? I'm probably wrong. Is that 8%? Is that 8% maximum? Up to 16 stacks? I'm very bad at math. Especially without doing any calculations. Ooh. Ooh. So she's kind of nuts. So you have in terms of artifacts, you have a few different ways you can go. You can go full blessing if you want to do that, but you definitely want to skew more towards getting the damage increase. This is just auto selected. I didn't look into this. But whatever the damage increase is, you want to make sure that you have it on all the artifacts. Like I have it on none, by the way, but there's one, +1, 2. You want to have those on there if possible, so you can get more benefit out of that. You can also go with more standardized stuff. I wouldn't use Noble Sacrifice because you have no attack buffer unless you're using her with other characters or with like Silvermane and Lim. You can do that. You can do something like that. I think it'd be fine. But you could also do, I mean, technically you could do Warmonger if you wanted to. She scales out. She's not going to do any damage. I wouldn't do Warmonger. You can do this set here. I like the Angel in White set. Increases the user's healing given by 8%. Increases the damage of the team member with the highest total power. You'd want to make sure that would be your Charlotte, though, of course, right? And I wouldn't really do much else here, though. I mean, you could get kind of cute with other stuff like Destroyer or other things. I wouldn't really do anything else. I think it's just blessing or largely just this, in which that means I'm doing blessing, by the way. So I would do full blessing in my opinion. But where things get a little bit interesting is like if you already have a blessing buffer on your team for some reason, then you would change and use something else. Now, you can also do multiple things here. You can do the Sylph set, right? Sylphs. Yeah, Sylph's Blessing. This one would be pretty fun. Whenever the user uses QTE supports or ultimates, it increases the user and their team's elemental weakness damage by 5%. Increase the skill duration to 60 seconds and increase the elemental weakness damage, increase effect stacks maximums to 3 instances. So very strong. Very, very strong. But that's probably the only thing I would put over here. Other than that, again, it's just back to Blessing. But again, the main focus is getting that damage increase effect on her. Outside of that, the primary stat you're looking for, it doesn't really matter much. I'd probably say defense is the next most important one to give her more bulk so she doesn't go down. And then from there, you can do whatever you want. Damage reduction, healing, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter all that much. You can go HP. But she's very, very strong. And again, like I said, the question is, how needed is she right now? And how is she going to look in relation to Thomas? Because Thomas is going to pop in and he's going to be a super duper strong character. Now, in terms of Isla and the characters in her same class, unless there is like if Thomas is a different element and there's some shift away from dark and we move out of the dark meta basically, and Thomas, let's say he's like fire or something like that, we haven't entered the necessary phase for fire characters, so I can see why people would look for dark characters right now and go for that first, right? But obviously, if you ask people, a lot of times they're going to want to get the actual character, not a game original character like Isla is, like an actual character from the series like Thomas is. So I think that that's also going to play a factor. People have probably been waiting for him for a long time as well, so I think he's going to have more people in his corner regardless of if he's necessary right now or not. We do need, I said fire because I do think that fire still needs more love, but we haven't really hit a phase where they're super duper necessary for largely anything in the game. So that's my own trepidation. They gave us a support character and pretty much just reworked some other guys and called it quits. Like I don't think they touched Emma, did they? I didn't see that, but they did change the Yusuhan a bit and Choi as well. But I just don't think that was enough. I think the fire team still just needs more love, and especially if you don't have Choi fully duped. So anyway, that's mostly it. But I myself, I had about 20, no, I had 30. I think I had 30,000, and I went in for Isla. I'm down to 10. These are my 30 and my 10 I've all been. I used 20, by the way. So yeah, they have all been free. So I guess when Thomas drops, I'll be trying to shoot back up and actually buy some. I haven't bought anything in a couple of months, so that's unfortunate. I don't need that. All right, whatever. I'm not mad at it though. Whatever. But yeah, I'll probably try to do that and we'll see what happens and go from there. But all in all though, I do think she is awesome, and I think that she's a character that you could get use out of right now if you pulled her regardless of dupes. It's just like I said in the very beginning, I think that you could also use a number of characters in that spot and be fine. Now, if that is the case, by the way, if you can use other characters like I'm suspecting, like Min for example, then they're going to make it to where you need Isla. They're going to create something, some event or some sort of condition where she's going to do something that's mandatory. She already is super good in the workshop because she clears, I assume that she can clear like the lightning off the floor and crap like that. So I assume that's where she's also going to be super good. Like with the workshop, the wind team is good, but you could tell that they made this with the dark team in mind, just the way that it functions. Like little things like the little circles that Metis puts out, right, where he's got the little circles, you got to run to those and stuff like that. But like Charlotte can just like zip to each one and not worry about any of the hacks on the field. Like she's fine. Like the fight with Kaisel, he's obviously was designed for them because the encore mission was designed for them. So like little things like that. And then Baron's fight is kind of indifferent, doesn't really matter a ton. But Isla, I think otherwise she's got super value with type advantage, and I think with that third dupe, this is where she's interesting because she all of a sudden becomes, and it's not close, by the way. With the third dupe, she becomes the best support character in the game. And again, it's not close. I think you can make an argument, to be fair, for some characters like Min in a team fight mode where he can use his ultimate where he's got all dupes. So let me know what you guys plan to do. I am already assuming that most of you guys are going to just wind up skipping, and that's totally fair. But like I was saying, I think that she's the best support character in the game. So I think if you're going to go, my point with that was that I think that if you're going to go, I think you absolutely have to get the first dupe minimum, but you really should be going for the third dupe. The third dupe is nuts Now, the trick with the third dupe is that you can also wait 3 weeks for her to wind up in, about 3 weeks, for her to wind up in the custom draw as well, since this game has shown that they do that. I'm kind of like, and I'm not looking for this, I don't want this, but I'm kind of wondering when they'll make like a limited character that, because you know they'll do it. You know they'll do it at some point, probably in the anniversary, the actual anniversary. Or they'll make, maybe it's Thomas, who knows? But, ugh, I don't want that. Maybe they'll make a limited banner. I'm wondering when they'll do this with another currency. They've already done it with weapons a little bit, but like, you know, like the LRs of this game. Like, if they will do that, because as it stands, every new character eventually gets put into the custom draws, and you don't even got to wait months to do it. A few weeks head start for a player that buys the character or gets lucky on the initial banner isn't crazy. I like that model. But I just wonder if that'll be the case forever, or if they'll make some like super duper OP characters that are only on their own limited pools and you can only get them from summoning their pools. They don't make their way into the custom draw. I don't know what they'll do, but definitely interesting. And it's funny going back to early access, and it was like, oh, they give a lot of custom draw tickets. Don't worry about these because they're going to update this pool every couple months or something like that, but they update it every few weeks. So kudos to them. All right, guys, that is it. Post down below what you guys are going to do. Also, support link in the description. Also, if you guys haven't seen my video where I cover all of the changes this update, there's so many. Make sure you click the video on your screen right now.